Good morning. Today's story is about an ancient art form to get more people to buy from you. Storytelling, the secret to reduce customers' counter-arguments and increase brand recall. If I asked you why would someone want to buy what you have to offer, you can probably give me some very good, rational reasons. Take one of my clients as an example. In a recent planning meeting, he said, selling is pretty simple. Everything really comes down to quality, service, and price. If you can make an argument for those three things, you'll do fine. He's right. You will do fine. It's one of the worst four-letter words in business. Fine, just fine. The problem is that you didn't get into business to be fine, just fine. You want to stand out, be recognized. You want to get others to remember you and forget about everyone else. So when they think of your product or service, they think only of you. You won't get there by being just fine. So how do you get from fine to wow? Chances are you're doing some of it already, but you and your salespeople aren't doing it enough. The key is to not just try to win the day with arguments, rebuttals, and logic and facts. The secret is the ancient art of telling stories, short anecdotes or narratives that create a bond between buyer and seller. Researchers have found that when we are told a story, we process it in such a way in our brains that results in fewer counter-arguments, and they are far easier to remember. Why? Because we are naturally more engaged when we hear and share stories. Here's a quick example. One client is experimenting with a new direct mail campaign that is generating 3 times the response rate of traditional campaigns in the real estate market. That's fine. But what if I told you this story? The other day, our client got a call from one of his customers who was frustrated sending the same old marketing campaigns and not getting the response he hoped. He wanted to try something new, so he tried the new campaign. He spent $4,500 and got 56 leads that netted a profit of $100,000 from the deals he closed. Get this, he's now mailing 5,000 pieces every week for the next 6 months. It's not only a great story, it's a great testimonial. The best testimonials are good stories. What makes a good story in the selling process? Researchers David Gilliam and Karen Flaherty, in their article Storytelling by the Salesforce and Its Effect on Buyer-Seller Exchange, which was published in Industrial Marketing Management, tried to answer this question about what makes a good story in the selling process. To get a better understanding of how salespeople use the stories, they followed the interactions of sellers and buyers in the field and at a B2B trade show. What they discovered was interesting. The most effective sellers were using stories to relate to buyers, but few were actually aware of it. In fact, the best stories casually link events. Take the example I just described. It casually introduces the experience of a customer who is frustrated with his marketing, just like many other business owners. He had a problem and was looking for a better alternative. And just like a well-told Shakespearean play or a blockbuster movie, a good story in the sales process has a beginning, middle, and end, no matter how short it may be. Gilliam and Flaherty concluded that storytelling plays a key role in the sales process, and the stories are largely appreciated by buyers. Buyers often told their own stories when describing their needs and wants, even if unintentional. Salespeople, however, use stories to establish credibility, persuade, get acquainted, build rapport, break tension, and make buyers more comfortable and communicative while attempting to build relationships. In their model of storytelling, Gilliam and Flaherty uncovered 3 motives for telling a story. Number 1, inform the buyer, especially when introducing a new product or feature. Number 2, persuade the buyer. This is when you're bolstering the value proposition. And number 3, bond with the buyer. Build trust with mutually shared experiences and connections. So 3 elements in that model for storytelling. Number 1, inform. 2, persuade. 3, bond. The topics could be personal or business related. The more relevant and timely the story was to the customer, the more effective the interaction. In those instances, buyers often reciprocated with their own story. Storytelling really does sell. It sells brands and ideas, and it has been used effectively for thousands of years. Yet as business owners, it's something they were just now beginning to understand, just how powerful it can be in sales and marketing. Try it. If you were talking about quality, service, and price, what stories would you tell? That's my breakthrough moment for this time. Until next time, I look forward to talking to you again, and feel free to share this video with friends, colleagues, and I look forward to seeing some of your comments. Thank you.